please welcome Rentals United Chief Marketing Officer, Vanessa de Souza Lage.
Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Can you hear me properly? Yes, I can't hear myself. I'm Vanessa de Souza Lage, co-founder and marketing director of Rentals United. Rentals United is a channel manager, specifically a channel manager, not a property management system. And I'm going to talk to you today about technology. So in order to do that, I've based this presentation on two types of research that I've been conducting in the last few months. One is a qualitative research, where I interview the CEOs and top management of large property management companies, and these are the ones. And you can access these interviews. We don't just talk about technology, we talk about business, we talk about M&A, etc. And you can access those on YouTube and also on podcasts. The second type of research is quantitative research. I produce a book called The Who's Who of the Vacation Rental World. And in order to download it on ebook, you have to answer a fairly large survey for me. So I've had 900 respondents so far, including large property managers. So one thing that large property managers all agree on is that technology enables growth. But what solutions are actually needed? When you think of tech-enabled property management companies, you think, well, they've been creating their own technology. And the reasons why they have been creating their own technologies, one of them is no technology matches my business model. This is true, especially in the past, right? Back in 2007 in Europe, for Harold, there was nothing that he could rely on third-party tech, so he had to build his own technology. And then for younger CEOs like Fred, who started a company back in 2012, I think, they found that when they reached a certain number of units, there was no technology to help them scale. So this is when they also invested in their own tech. Another reason is that third-party tech is risky, right? Companies go down. We've had one really bad example a few years back. And they took many millions with them. So third-party tech is risky, but this year, for the first time, we've seen some major investment and roll-ups in the tech industry. So this argument shouldn't be in the future. So you have the roll-up in Habits that rolled up a few PMS companies and marketing technologies together. And we've also seen, for the first time, quite a bit of investment in the vacation rental tech world. Two PMSs, a channel manager, my own, back in April, and just lately, a yield manager. And the third reason is my tech is an asset. Well, we talked about it this morning, right? So you have quite a few companies that become so much of an asset that they're actually reselling their own technology. Guest Ready, Turnkey, Hostmaker are all into the business of reselling the software that they've been building for the last few years. So it's getting very crowded in terms of software. And then you have Lavanda, who decided, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to stop property management altogether, and I'm just going to become a software company. But there's still two camps, right? They're the guys that rely on third party, and then the guys that have built their in-house PMS. The guys that rely on third party also call themselves tech-enabled as such. For example, City Relay has no programmers in-house. They have acquired a yield manager, and they're relying on third-party connected softwares. And that's quite rare for such a large company. And Steve Milo, for example, also a very large company, says, I don't want to be a software provider. I want to focus on what I'm good at, which is property management. So he is, for the first time I hear of a property manager that actually put out an extensive RFP to the PMS world and said, look, I want you to create this for me. What can you do? This is very common in the hotel industry, but not at all common in the vacation rental industry, yet. So when you look at IT teams, still over 60% would have programmers in-house. And the trouble with that is that the programmers spend their time nurturing what they have as opposed to dealing with innovation. And that's usually what they have, what they would have in-house, and what they would need to upkeep, payment schedules, task management, yes, communication. And I'm highlighting accounting module because that's one huge bottleneck when you're looking at scaling. How do you do accounting from different states in different states? How do you do accounting in different countries in Europe where tax legislation is constantly changing and shifting? So this is the index of the who's who of the vacation rental world. And I've been doing it for 5 years now, and every year I have to add new technologies to the index. And there's really a bubbling tech ecosystem out there. Lots of new entrants every year trying to help property managers to do their job. And for example, this year I added check-in software, referral networks, and voice solutions. So when it comes to SMBs, small to medium-sized property managers, they use a lot of third-party tech, connected third-party tech. These are the kind of tech that they would use. So I think what's going to happen in the future is that we're going to see more and more of a Salesforce type business models where we have very strong enterprise software that look at helping enterprise customers and allowing other tech companies to plug in and to build towards it. It's already happening, but we're not quite there yet as such. What we're missing very strong onboarding technology. Onboarding is a very crucial part of the property management business in order to scale, right? For example, Fred says, it's a delicate moment. You've paid a lot of money for that lead, and now you want it distributed as fast as possible. And Graham Donahue, Sykes is one of the largest property management companies in the world. Their deed was 22,000 organic leads, and they want to put 10,000 of those live every year. So how do you do that? How do you make the process really seamless and fast? Another solution that's very much needed, we already talked about it, accounting from state to state, from country to country, how to react to tax legislations. That has not been solved yet. I heard that Yesti is working on a global solution. Where, it remains to be seen how this is going to work, and hopefully it will. And distribution, obviously that's a key pillar of property management tech, how to distribute. Now, the fun fact here is that all of the PMs I speak to have created their own yield management software. But when it comes to channel management, they're all, apart from Sykes, who relies very much on their Book Direct channel, they all use third-party channel management. So when it comes to channel management, it would appear that it's not about having a connection to third parties, to channels. It's about how good your connection is, how much detail there is in there. And for that reason, PMs tend to leave that job to software companies like mine. And another reason why they would come to us is also connecting to international websites. We saw there was a 16% of other websites giving you bookings still. I think they're going to be a lot more in the future, but so they also come to us for that. So I'm happy to say that, I think the future is coming. We are going to have more and more enterprise-level software around that you can build to, that you can scale with, as opposed to having your own massive tech teams in-house. I think that's the future. And why does it need to be the future? So that you guys can focus on product growth, quality of service, and personalization. Thank you very much.